Educational GMAT. Your partner in your GMAT journey.
Tyrannosaurus Rex mass. Tyrannosaurus Rex mass. kg and age. So basically a typical Tyrannosaurus Rex, for example, from birth till about 10 years, obviously is quite light, right? And then it starts gaining mass. Now, till about 20 years of age, it has gained the maximum mass. After that, it pretty much remains constant. So, for example, at the age of 12, what is the mass? At the age of 16, 3000. And at the age of 20, 52. Okay. Right.
Is it beta?
Which one?
B.
Baker. Okay. All right. For integer values of x from 12 to 30, the average. Okay. From 12 to 30. Actually, this is something. 12 is obviously point A. Correct? And 30 would be obviously this. It says the average mass. Now let's first figure out what's the usual technique of finding out the average mass. What is the usual technique? Average. 12, what is the weight? 13, what is the weight? 14, what is the weight? 15, what is the weight? And so on till 30. Agreed? Once we find out these weights, then it would be, how do we find out the average? Obviously, this plus this plus this plus this plus this plus this and so on, divided by 19 years. Why 19 years? Because between 12 and 30. That's the range. Correct? So that's the mathematical way. Clearly, we cannot do that here. No one has time for that. And hence, what do you do? Hence, what do you do?
The first and the last divided by 2 because it's a...
No, we cannot do first plus last divided by 2 because it's not a straight line. Okay, chunks of data. All right. Anything else? Anything else that
weighted,
this? Sorry.
We can take weighted average. We know key for last 10 years it's approximately 5,500.
Very nice.
Then that means it's closer to that number.
Absolutely. Very nice. Who is this?
Should give you that.
Girida, very nice. See, if you look at it, all right. Now this is where, yeah, go ahead, Vikash.
Take the middle value of the average mass and then 5 times to that. So basically 12 to 16 take 2000 into 5. Then 16 to 20 take 4000 approximately into 5.
Yes.
Then 50 to 5300 and into 10.
Sure. You could do that. Yes, absolutely, completely. So this first term plus last term divided by 2 will actually work for this. First term plus last term by 2 would also work for this. Correct? Because it's almost a straight line. But you cannot do first term plus last term divided by 2 because it's an completely uneven curve. However, if you look at it from 12 to 20, obviously from 12 to 20, the mass is rapidly increasing. Correct? 12 to 20 is approximately 8. So 8 figures, whatever they are. But then from 20 to 30, by the way, right? Notice this is 20, this is 30. So from 20 to 30, which is almost 10 entries, the mass is constantly how much? 5,500. Correct? So if you look at it, when we are looking at an average of this, clearly it will be heavily influenced by this, right? Because out of these 18 entries, 10 entries are 5,500. Guys, are you getting me? Right? And hence, uh, in terms of weighted average, clearly the weight of these 10 entries would heavily impact the weighted average of the entire 18 uh, entries. So by looking at it, can you tell me what would be the basically the average for all the 18 entries?
C.
I mean,
C.
among the given answer choices, right?
C.
Because 10 entries have 5,500, right? So clearly it would be somewhere here. The average would fall towards the higher side. Okay. I also like the method that Vikash was mentioning. Notice this is almost a straight line. So which means this is between 12 and how much is it? B is 16, right? So 4 entries have an average of almost 2000, correct? Similarly, this is from again a straight line between 16 and 20. So 4 of these would have an average of almost 4000, correct? While the rest of the 10 have 5500. Right. So now actually if you want to do calculation, you could do that. What will be the average? 4 into 2000 plus 4 into 4000 plus 10 into 5500 divided by 80. Correct. You don't need to do this calculation, but then this is one way to visualize why the average, sorry. So the average would be between 4000 and 5000.
Is there any standard formula for this, or if the diagram wasn't like this and we cannot spot a straight line per se?
So actually, there's really the formula. I mean, if you talk about standard formula, obviously, the only standard formula that is there is the one that cannot be applied here, by the way, because we are talking about 12 to 30. So the standard formula is obviously that you find out the weight at 12 years of age, weight at 13 years of age, weight at 14, and so on till weight at 30 years of age. And then obviously, how do you find out the average weight? Average weight would be sum of all these weightage, sum of all these weights divided by 19. But obviously you cannot apply that here. So you need to look at the nature of the curve plus the given options. Right. Yes.
Baker.
So actually, I think you need to read the question carefully. The percentage change in mass from 12 to 16. Okay, 12, how much was the mass? 900. And then 16, how much was, see, 16 is basically a baker, right? So this obviously is 3000, correct? And then it says 16 to 20. So 20 is obviously 5000. How much? 100? All right. So 5100. Okay. Percentage change in mass from 12 to 16. Can you tell me what's the percentage in change in mass from 12 to 16? How do you find out, guys? Again, it's always new minus old divided by old, correct? So that would be 3000 minus 900 divided by 900 and then obviously into 100, correct? So that would give you the percentage change from 12 to 16. Can someone tell me how much this is? Two, no, no, I mean, the calculator would be there, by the way. So this is essentially 2100 upon 900, right? Into 100, correct? So it's basically, how much is it, guys?
230%.
230%, all right. Okay. So this is 12 to 16. Now let's actually address 16 to 20. So 16 to 20, what's the percentage change? Obviously 1,500 minus 3000 divided by 3000. No, how is it 100%? No, how?
70.
How much? 70, right? Almost 70. Agreed? So basically it's like 2100 upon 3000, right? Into 100, correct? So three zeros get cancelled and so 70%. Now notice 12 to 16 was how much? 230%. 16 to 20 was how much? 70%. So what's the answer?
C.
3 times, right? Basically 230 is almost 3 times of 70. Yes.